feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride away.
To play another interview. So there's another interview where there is Diddy's sexual victim, allegedly, who also did an interview. So all of these people who all want to remain anonymous, but they're making claims against these high-profile guys, and they're saying they got their butt took, they got their pussy took, they were forced to do A, B, C, and D. They don't want their name to be seen, but they're down to walk into NBC News, get on camera, they just blur me out. And now CNN News. And this is supposedly one of Diddy's accusers. Let's listen to this and react.
According to your lawsuit, you were hired by a security firm to work security at one of the infamous white parties that was thrown by Sean Combs in the Hamptons. What was that experience like?
At first, he was incredibly friendly, very gracious.
So you had a friendly chat, and then, according to your lawsuit, at some point later in the night, Sean Combs himself offered you a drink. This didn't come from
Now, I also want to point out here, chat. It's very important that I point this out. I want to put this in context. So this 13-year-old girl, well, obviously she was a child back then, right? But these people, we haven't seen that they have gone to the police. So they won't go to the police, but they'll go to a lawyer to get them money. And by the way, I got to figure out which John Doe this is. Actually, Tony Busby's also representing this guy. Remember, the majority of the John Does are represented by Tony Busby. The majority of them. The majority of the John Does are represented by Tony Busby for Diddy. So it looked like Tony Busby might have had a PR strategy. And you got to remember, for what he does is he ain't trying to go to trial with all these cases. He wants niggas to pay up. So I'm guessing he has almost like a plan. All right, on this week, we're going to get some of our John Does to do anonymous interviews because now we got to make it really hit. Let's let people hear them. And also in this interview, we don't see Tony Busby sitting next to him. Right? So Tony Busby ain't... So again, Tony Busby filed 15 lawsuits against Diddy. All of them are John Does. John Does and Jane Does. But this is the second one, and I think this is Tony Busby's one. I don't know. I could tell if it's anything filed in the last 2 months, it would be Tony Busby. Most likely. And again, a victim that ain't go to the cops, don't want their face known, don't want their name known, is doing a video interview, but they're just saying, blur my face out. They don't want to be known, but they want to be heard. And it's not only heard in court. They don't want to be heard by a law enforcement officer. They want to be heard in civil court where they can only get damages in terms of monetary compensation. And then they want to be heard in a CNN interview? Okay.
Staff or someone holding a tray of drinks that came from him directly?
Correct. The first drink started to have some effect on me, and I just thought, wow, these are really strong drinks. It wasn't until the second drink, and it was already too late, that I realized that there was something wrong with the drinks. Sadly, Sean Combs was waiting in the wings. He was watching from some sort of vantage point, and once I was in a helpless position and he was sure that...
See, he's well coached, I could tell. Sadly, he's watching from a vantage point. When I'm in some helpless position, he swoops in. You see, if no disrespect to this journalist, but if she's on her shit like the girl from NBC News, debunks all that. So you said you're on the second drink, but how do you know his position? How do you know where he's at? Are you assuming that he's in some position watching you? And then when you say you're in some helpless position, what does that mean? Like, have us, I know this is traumatizing, but help us visualize. How do you think he surmised that you were at the state where he should or could take advantage of you. You got to follow up questions with these motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying? Because this is kind of coming off like these motherfuckers coached.
He was in a position of power. Then he took advantage of the situation.
See? All of this sounds like what you would write in a lawsuit. Not somebody's talking like, yo, bro. Like, you know how people talk. They don't talk like, this sounds like a lawsuit, bro.
You allege that you were forcibly pushed into an SUV by Sean Combs. That act alone, according to your lawsuit, left you in considerable pain. And then once inside the vehicle.
Shorty, that NBC interviewer is putting you to shame. Let me ask the questions you need to ask. Bruv, how are you the goddamn bodyguard? You were hired as private security. How is the security getting manhandled by the client? So you're telling me how the hell could you secure him if he pushing you around and he bitching you? How could he? Now he might be like, oh no, I was like drunk. I was like, okay, well, all right, let's bring it back a little bit. Well, you're security. Why are you taking drinks while you're doing your job as security? Have you ever done that before? Have you ever worked for Sean Combs before? Is that common? Do you just drink it up while you're working security? What's going on? You got to ask these questions now, Chad. Like, we got to see what's going on. Because these motherfuckers is coming with some shit that, like, so you're just saying he just took your booty and you were, if Diddy could take your booty, how the hell was you supposed to protect Diddy from somebody taking his life? If you couldn't stop Diddy from taking your booty, how the fuck you supposed to stop somebody from kicking Diddy's ass? How the hell does that work?
Your lawsuit says plaintiff was held down by Combs, who overpowered him while he...
How the fuck you security and get held down by your client? How does that work? Nigga, it's a reason why most security just take a lot of steroids. They at least got to look buff. Got at least, even if they can't fight a lick, they got to at least look a little bit like this.
He struggled to escape due to the effects of the drugs in his system. And...
Yo, they told my Diddy like he's Dexter. Oh yeah, the drugs, it just had me just like laying there. I just couldn't move. I just couldn't move. Now, I'm going to keep it being. And by the way, it appears that as time goes by, now we're not talking about a criminal case. We're talking about these civil cases. We're going to be able to start saying, like, start having some common sense and start saying some real shit. Because before we had to act in shock. Like, oh my God, another 5. He's a monster. He's a creep. Now, he might be a monster to creep for the Cassie shit and maybe some other shit. But like, it's too much fluff. Bruv, just think about the shit we hearing. All of y'all said Diddy's finishing move is giving y'all 2 cups of Ciroc with some GHB in it. I'm also starting to think, y'all, a lot of y'all keep saying y'all are in parties where there's mad other people. How come if everybody's drinking the drugged up shit, only you and every victim, quote unquote, got the same story. Oh, 2 cups. I was knocked out. How come everybody drinking 15 cups, but only you get so they must have had a special elixir for you. But even one person said they're in the party, and the waitress at these little fancy party with the white gloves walking around with a bunch of drinks, and they offer you something. So why don't the effects happen to other people? How come everybody's standing but you? Whatever.
It goes on to say that he sodomized you.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop.
Stop it, my nigga. Yeah, see, this is why I gotta do this interview. Yo, bruv. Put it like this, man. You a security. You're Diddy. You're securing a Diddy event. My nigga. No homo, nothing like that, but, bruh, I gotta ask you this question. You ever got fucked in your ass, nigga? Because if you've never got fucked in your ass, It ain't no way that a nigga could overpower you and you're supposedly stronger than him. Could do all that shit to you and slide his dick inside your booty hole, nigga. How the... Nigga, what type of... Come on, bruv. Now, if he said, nah, I've gotten fucked in my ass a couple times, so, you know, my shit loose back there. But like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. It makes a little more sense. But I just can't see this grown-ass man who's supposed to be security. This is sounding crazy. I'm sorry. I know it sounds vivid and you know, pause, extra pause, you know what I mean? No flexibility, but we got to like, wait. Your shit don't make no sense.
It was incredibly painful.
Duh.
And he was acting like it was nothing.
I ain't gonna lie, I'll be asking some crazy questions if I'm in this interview. Nigga, did you queef? Did you queef on his dick? I would ask all type of shit, chat. I ain't gonna lie to you. You gotta say certain shit to get him off their pivot, man. Nigga in here repeating some shit that he put in the lawsuit. I'm gonna ask some bullshit. I'm asking bullshit in this goddamn interview. We gotta get to the facts.
And he seemed to be disconnected from it. But it was abusive beyond belief.
Man, it was probably some shit like this, chat. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. You seen this? Right here.
Hello, Mary.
Keep it going.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, buddy.
Hold on. Wait. What the line at? I think he fucked the joint in the ass, and then he said, "Yo, you ain't gonna be shit. You ain't gonna be able to shit right for a week." All right, I don't know if I can play that. Y'all ever watch Bad Santa? Shit crazy out here, chat. Edit out that part. Edit out that part.
He may be even more famous.
Fuck.
According to your law.
Here we go.
Acting like it was nothing. And he seemed to be disconnected from it. But it was abusive beyond belief.
Abusive beyond belief. Rexford Combs didn't comment, but at the time of the original complaint, released a blanket statement regarding the complaint and others filed at the same time. Combs and his legal team had full confidence that the facts in their legal defenses and the integrity of the judicial processes. Basically saying it's cap, but we got other shit to deal with, which is a criminal case. Okay. In court, the truth will prevail. Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted.
All right, CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister, who's doing really amazing reporting on this subject, is here with your exclusive. What was it like to sit down with this man?
You know, John, this was the first time that he has told anyone other than his attorneys this story. He, as you see, we concealed his identity. He filed his lawsuit back in October as a John Doe. He says that he wants to keep his anonymity because he wants to keep some semblance of his life private. But that's a difficult thing to do, to sit down and tell your story to a stranger as a journalist. So I asked him, why now? Why are you coming forward now? And he said that he did not know that there were other accusers of Sean Combs out there. He only found out from seeing news reports. And there was one report he saw that there is somebody who alleges that they were 9 years old when they say that they were abused by Sean Combs. And this John Doe that I sat down with, he said, if a 9-year-old could do it, then I could do it. And it made him feel like he wished that he spoke out before because he could have prevented children from allegedly being abused. Now, as I said, this lawsuit was initially filed back in October of this year. So these claims are not new, but this is the first time that he sat down. In fact, John, this is the first time that any accuser of Sean Combs has sat down with the media for an interview. Now, I want to play you a bit more of what he told me about these allegations, what he says happened that night in 2007. But I do want to warn our viewers that what he says is graphic and disturbing.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop. It was incredibly painful. And he was acting like it was nothing. And he seemed to be disconnected from it. But it was abusive beyond belief.
Now, he says that not a day has gone by where he hasn't thought about this. He said that when something like this happens to you, which is, of course, his allegation that he was drugged and sodomized by Sean Combs back in 2007, he says that it impacts every part of your life. He says that he has not been able to carry on with relationships. He says that he did not tell his wife at the time, who he was married to when this allegedly happened to him. He hasn't told family members or coworkers. And again, that is one of the big reasons why he wants to remain anonymous.
Incredible to hear him tell this story. All right, Elizabeth Wagmeister, thank you very much. Sarah.
All right, joining us now, CNN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney Joey Jackson to discuss more about this. All right, first of all, this is a civil lawsuit. Yes. It is not part of the criminal prosecution, but in hearing this, and now that he is coming out to speak, could it be?
So we'll see. There's a lot that has to be unpacked, right? The first thing is remember, Sarah, that this was an amended complaint. Why do I say that, and why is that significant? It's significant because initially when it was filed in October, there was the indication that it happened in 2007, right? Learning, however, that P. Diddy was in St. Tropez then, so it could not have happened then. So it was amended to include, right, the year after, okay? That's a problem. There was also the indication initially that, right, he wasn't married, and now we're learning he is. Why do I say that? Because every case turns on its facts. So if you're going to determine, right, civil, it's a civil case, it involves monetary damages, not criminal, you're going to assess the credibility of it. Now, attorneys for, of course, P. Diddy are going to have a field day with that, of course, because when you sit down with your lawyer, you verify. Your lawyer doesn't say, oh, that's what happened, okay. You verify it, you vet it, you ensure that it's factually accurate. And so therefore, I think those two distinctions are going to be very important. Would you have not known that you were married at this time? Would you have not known? Should you have shared it with your spouse? Potentially not. It's embarrassing, but did you know you were married at all? Did you know where you were, when you were, etc.? So it's a question of fact, and I think it'll be vetted certainly by criminal investigators to determine whether or not it's useful, and then it'll be up to the judge to determine whether it is admissible.
I am curious about something. He told our Elizabeth Wagmeister there that he'd not told anyone about this until he spoke, I think, to his attorneys. How difficult will it be to prove this?
So what ends up happening is that, you know, there's a lot of embarrassment and a lot of...
So nobody ever heard about this until it was time for him to get money. Let me just type Tony Busby's name in here. See if he's part of this. Yeah, I probably got to go through them to figure out what it is, but anyway. Okay. Then apparently we're seeing this. It says Diddy is accused of assaulting 3 more men. Like, come on, bro. Yo, this shit's like turned into a clown show, man. Diddy's accused of sexually assaulting 3 men, including one of his former employees, who he plied or supplied, I guess, with spiked alcoholic drinks. Same old script. Diddy gave him spiked alcohol. Yo, let me tell you this. This is the only reason why I think Diddy probably sitting in that jail cell, bruv. Like, this is the only reason. I know what my next topic is going to be. I wonder if I should tell y'all something. No, I can't. I won't tell y'all. I got to keep it low. Anyway. All right, anyway. One of the men who worked for the rap mogul and alleged his former boss raped him at a hotel. The lawsuits filed by anonymous accusers allege the same pattern of conduct by Combs Between 2019 and 2022, the assaults are alleged to have happened at New York City hotels and in East Hampton. It was a usual thing. Come for a meeting, have a drink. Oh, this is what I was trying to say. My bad. I lost my train of thought. Actually, I'll say it. Y'all want to say it? I'm going to say it. I don't know. Let's just say it. Okay, so these are three new accusers, and yeah, I don't think there's more shit I could say, but I'm trying to, yeah, I don't think I could parse anything else through to not fuck up, because I'm not trying to fuck up nobody's situation. When people try to reach out like that, I try to keep it. All right. So some random accuser is saying that they got fucked by Diddy between 2019 and 2022. Okay, so it's the usual thing. Come for a meeting, have a drink. Oh, that's where the tangent I was going to go on. You know the whole theory about where people say that if Diddy didn't go with the alcohol company, doesn't get sued. I'm wondering if Diddy now sits back and thinks and says, yo, bro, this has to be the alcohol company coming for me. Every fucking thing they're talking about alcohol being spiked. Think about it, chat. You beef with your alcohol company that was paying you billions of dollars. Now they come up with a thing and you exit a partnership with them. Now you have 20 allegations of you spiking drinks. 20 allegations of you spiking drinks. It almost actually goes into and makes you think, wait, let's think about this one though. Even if Diddy beats this case, would you ever trust Diddy saying, yo, bad boy, take that. Yo, y'all want some of this? Hell no. Fuck no. You would never take a bottle of water from that nigga, even with the cap like still on. Fuck no. Because they have now dropped 20 lawsuits of him spiking shit. If that nigga said to you, yo, you want to have a drink with me? You'd be like, nah, I'm good, gang. I'm good. I heard what happened to the bodyguard. So if you want to be on some conspiracy theory shit, you beef with the motherfucking people who helped put you in a position as the liquor connoisseur. Everybody drinking Ciroc. You start DeLeon. They ain't like that shit because you own that shit. You exit the partnership. And now all the allegations is that you spike liquor. It's like, yeah, we hear about some pink cocaine, some this, but the majority, the consistent allegation is, yo, every time I've been around this nigga, I take 2 drinks, I'm done, and I'm getting fucked. That's interesting. I don't know if that matters. But anyway, it was the usual thing. Come for a meeting, have a drink. You get woozy. What? You wake up to Sean Combs' R word in you. You get ushered out the door. I was struck by the similarity, said the plaintiff's attorney. Oh, this is a different plaintiff's attorney. So this is not Tony Busby. Thomas Guilfora. I was contacted in excess by 60 people. I only chose to follow these 3 so far because I vetted them out. Bro, all of these Tyrone Blackburn's, Tony Busby type of lawyers are just coming out the blue. Nigga, if 60 people are hitting up just you to file a lawsuit, it's probably sus. You're probably either advertising or you're soliciting somehow. How the fuck does 60 people know to contact you to file a lawsuit against Diddy? One nigga put out a hotline. It's kind of crazy. They're consistent with the pattern that Combs followed. Attorneys for the music mogul accuse the new accusers of lying. They've denied Combs sexual assault to anyone and decried the filings of the anonymous lawsuits. These complaints are full of lies. We'll prove them false and seek sanctions against every unethical lawyer who filed fictional claims against him. Now, here's the interesting part about that. They're taking a little bit of Jay-Z's lead. Jay-Z, I think Diddy's lawyers were trying to play to public, like the cancel culture shit, and they didn't want to just flat out slam these people. Jay-Z slammed, like he didn't really slam the accuser, but he's slamming the lawyers. This lawyer is an ambulance chaser, so it's a clown in a cheap suit. Yo, we're gonna seek sanctions. We now hear Diddy's lawyers kind of saying the same. It's unethical lawyers who are filing. We're gonna seek sanctions. Like they're now getting on the offense, which I'm gonna be honest with you. To weed out the bad actors and culprits, you're going to have to seek sanctions against these guys. These guys have filed these lawsuits, and media outlets like myself and others, we don't know what's real and what's not. We just cover them. And the more salacious it is, the more headlines it gets, the more views it gets. But we don't know if it's true. So if these people are lying on you, yo, you gotta get on the offense. You can't just be defending yourself the whole time. Okay. That lawyer said that he would ask the court to allow his clients to proceed without divulging their names. My clients are afraid that their identities become public. They'll end up with a target on their back. They want to scare people into silence. They're just trying to intimidate people. So currently they're in a pre-trial detention in New York. No. Okay. Interesting. All right. We'll see. We'll see where that goes.
A shame, right? And there's a lot of sensitivity as it relates to victims. And sometimes you have victim, and it's called recent outcry information, where they'll say something to a friend, I can't believe it. That's powerful evidence. In some circumstances, there's humiliation, and they don't. And there are experts who will testify to that. On the issue of proof, however, there's the indication that a celebrity was present. That's according to this particular victim, Elizabeth doing an excellent job in that interview. But there was the issue of, hey, there's a celebrity present. Does that celebrity come forward? There's the indication that he told his supervisor, he being the victim who worked for a private security company, telling his supervisor. Will the supervisor come forward? Did anybody else know? So these are all questions of proof. And to the extent that you have corroboration.
Whole lot of cap, man. Let's just see if Diddy go to jail or not, man. These civil suits ain't giving nothing no more, man. If you ask me, man, I think Diddy might have 4 or 5 victims. And what I mean by, I should say possible victims, like people who we know he was fucking with, people who were in real situations with him, people who, you know, if at very least they could have maybe a difference of opinion about how a situation went down, right? They're like, oh, no, well, I thought like it went down like this. Diddy thinks it went down like that. The rest of these people, I don't think they've even met the nigga, bro. They just making shit up and capping, if you ask me. But we will see. You know, I could be wrong. Again, we're getting close to 30 filed on Diddy. Actually might be over 30 at this point after these 3. Remember, there's somebody even in jail who wrote a handwritten lawsuit against Diddy. So we'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. Okay. Let's move on a little bit from this. And I think we should probably get to the... Oh. Do I need to do a big update on 6ix9ine? Probably not, right? Probably not. 6ix9ine